From the Liberty University studio in Memphis, Tennessee, it's America's favorite gun-toting, Bible-clinging, deplorable American.
That's us. That's right. I love this American ride.
Todd Starnes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I've had a chance to look over these Epstein documents, and it's disgusting, it's horrible, it's sickening. But the one good guy in all of this, if you're looking for the Lone Ranger, if you're looking for the guy who did the right thing, his name is Donald J. Trump. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Todd Starnes Radio Show. What an honor to have all of you with us today. And we have a lot of ground to cover. By the way, we have a very special guest coming up later on in the show. Florida House Speaker Paul Renner is going to be with us. He is running for governor, and we're going to be talking to him about the campaign and what it's going to take to keep Florida as a red state. Also, we're going to be talking with Tennessee state lawmaker Monty Fritz. He's going to be joining us later on in the program as well. He, too, running for the Republican nomination for governor in the state of Tennessee, has some stiff competition. Senator Marsha Blackburn running in that race and Congressman John Rose. So, again, two very important red states, and we need to make sure that those red states stay red states. Also, Josh Jones is going to be along a very disturbing story about not only what's happening in Virginia, but also in Alabama, where they found well over 3,000 illegals on the voting ballots. Let me explain that to you again. The authorities in Alabama discovered that more than 3,000 illegal aliens were registered to vote in the state of Alabama. That's insane. Also, and this story breaking, and Fox News has the story, there will be investigations on Capitol Hill as we now understand that an untold number of non-citizens have been allowed to vote in Detroit, Michigan. They have also served on jury pools, and they're not allowed to do that, which leads to all sorts of questions. And you now wonder, will some of the verdicts, the jury verdicts, will they be rendered? Will they be thrown out? Will mistrials be declared? Will they have to go in and discover exactly how many illegals were serving on jury pools in the state of Michigan? All that to say, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of news today, but all that to say that if it's happening in Alabama, which is one of the reddest states in America, you better believe it's happening in every state across America. And what is it the Democrats told? The Democrats have told us from day one, there's no way illegals can vote. There's no way non-citizens can vote. Well, now we're understanding the truth, and the truth is very, very ugly. Now, I want to talk about these Epstein documents for just a moment. And we've got the new intel. Those of you that are watching us on our social media streams, I'm actually holding up the actual DOJ documents. And for you folks listening by radio, that's what the documents sound like. A former Palm Beach, Florida police chief who investigated Jeffrey Epstein in the mid-2000s told the FBI that he had received a call from Donald Trump saying, "Thank goodness you guys are stopping him," talking about Epstein. Everybody knows that he's been doing this. So the ex-police chief sat down with the FBI in 2019, and the Miami Herald was the very first news publication to report on all of this. So you've got the media, and now the media is like they're weeping right now. Many of them are in the fetal position because they truly believed that once these documents came out, that Donald Trump would be exposed for the predator. No, it turns out that Donald Trump is the hero in all of this. Donald Trump is the one who called the cops on Jeffrey Epstein. Now, President Trump has repeatedly denied any knowledge of Epstein's crimes and said that he cut off contact with his former friend more than 20 years ago. Trump claimed that he booted Epstein. I'm reading from ABC News. It's not that he claimed, he did boot Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after discovering that he was poaching employees from the club's spa. The police chief's name is redacted from the document on the DOJ's website, But the information in the FBI statement tracks with previously public information about the chief's role in the investigation that began in 2005. Detectives were investigating Epstein for allegedly recruiting girls as young as 14 years old to provide massages that turned sexual. Now, the information about Trump's alleged call makes up just a small part of a 4-page document summarizing the police chief's testimony in 2019, 2 months after Epstein's death. Donald Trump told the chief that he threw Epstein out of his club. Trump called the Palm Beach Police Department to tell him, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone knows that he's been doing this." This is all in the FBI documents. The alleged call came from Trump in July of 2006, around the time the details of the police investigation became public. Trump told him that people in New York knew Epstein was disgusting. Trump said Maxwell, talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, was Epstein's operative. Quote, "She is evil," and encouraged police to focus on her. The report continues. Trump told the police chief that he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump, quote, "got the hell out of there." Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out they were investigating Epstein. The account of Trump's alleged call, as summarized in the FBI document, had not previously been reported. So, look, where are we at with all of this? I know the president is very upset that these documents were all released, primarily because I think there are people that, as the president said, who are innocent, who were mentioned in these, or at least allegations were made, and the allegations were unfounded. And we've talked about that over the past weeks. I don't want to terribly dwell on this. But again, the media narrative here is what has just blown up. And that's, for me, that is the headline here, is that once again, Donald Trump has been proven to be the good guy. Now, the other part of this, and this is where I'm just curious, because all of this I find incredibly disgusting and sickening. It's just sickening. One of the files, and there are unredacted files that members of Congress are going and looking at, and Laurie Boebert got a first glance at them last night, and she is just enraged over all of this. But one of the unredacted Epstein files reveals a sickening revelation about a 9-year-old child. One of the youngest victims, just 9 years old. The disclosure came after Congressman Jamie Raskin, the Democrat from Maryland, and several others spent hours inspecting the trove of documents yesterday. Lawmakers try to investigate how the well-connected financier was able to sexually abuse underage girls for years. Mr. Raskin said, "You read through these documents, and you read about 15-year-old girls, 14-year-old girls, 10-year-old girls. It's sickening." He goes on to say, "I saw mention of a 9-year-old girl. I mean, this is just preposterous and scandalous," reading from the New York Post report. Congressman Thomas Massey, who I just find to be a reprehensible lawmaker, but on this issue, I believe he's spot on. He said that he had seen a reference to a senior foreign agent government official who was apparently in the convicted pedophile's circle. He added that he'd come across the names of 6 men that have been redacted in the released files that are likely incriminated by their inclusion. Massey is now calling on the DOJ to pursue accountability and did not rule out that he would expose them himself by naming the men in a House floor speech where his actions would be constitutionally protected from lawsuits. Now, that's where our stopping point is for just a moment here. Should we name everybody that's in those files? If these people are in fact guilty of crimes, or at least accused of heinous crimes against children, should they be charged? If there is evidence of crime, should they be charged? Should their names be released? Should they face some sort of a penalty? Here's the problem. A lot of this stuff, these are allegations. I mean, they had one in there about George H.W. Bush. And I mean, it's just ludicrous. But they're saying that, George H.W. Bush was involved and that Epstein was involved in cannibalism. I don't believe that. Do you believe that? I don't believe that. So there are a lot of weird things and things that are just so absurd that it's just impossible to be true, some of these allegations. Or is it possible? Now, again, there were multiple redactions lifted late Monday. This is part of a bipartisan effort. Democrats and Republicans accusing the DOJ of improperly blacking out names of possible co-conspirators. I want to know if people in Congress are named in these files. I want to know that. And the reason I want to know that is I want to make sure that these people have not been manipulated. Are these people being blackmailed? Is that one of the reasons why they're refusing, the Republicans in the Senate, is that one of the reasons why they're refusing to advance President Trump's agenda? Are they being blackmailed? Does somebody have something on them? Because when you look, because none of this makes sense, right? None of this. Let's just take the SAVE Act for just a moment here. This is legislation that over 80% of Republicans support. Overall, across the entire nation, 73% of all voters support. A majority of Democrats, a majority of minorities support having some sort of voter ID to go and cast a ballot. And yet the Senate Republicans refuse to budge on this. And they will tell you all sorts of excuses. Oh, by the way, they had talked about doing what they call a shadow filibuster. They're not even doing that. Thune says now they don't have time. And what did I tell you? That's why I have been pushing them and pushing you to call your senators, because I knew they would play the clock game. And now they're saying, well, they may not have enough time. Ladies and gentlemen, if we don't get this done, we risk losing the Senate and the House in the midterms, and then it will never get done. But again, what is the reason why? Is it because John Thune is obstinate, or is it because somebody has something on the Senate Majority Leader? And these are fair questions to ask because nothing else makes any sense at all. And trust me on this, the Democrats, if they get control of the Senate, they will nuke the filibuster and they will drive through their agenda. That's how that's going to work. So anyway, we'll take your calls on this. Again, should we release these names? If the members of Congress know who they are, should we know who they are? Our telephone number, by the way, 901-260-5926. That's 901-260-5926. This is The Todd Starnes Show.
About to back up and bring it. You're with Todd Starnes.
America doesn't need barbed wire or secret police to lose freedom. All it takes is silence. Live Not by Lies is a gripping docuseries by Angel Studios that reveals how soft totalitarianism is creeping into everyday life. Through powerful stories from people who lived under communism, it warns of what happens when we surrender truth for safety. This is a must-watch for anyone who loves faith, family, and freedom. Stream the series now, only on Angel Guild, by visiting angel.com/Starnes.
From director Sean McNamara comes Soul on Fire, based on a true story.
They said you had no chance, but here you are.
Starring Joel Courtney, John Corbett, Stephanie Shostak, Macy McLean, with Devon Franklin and William H. Macy.
If you focus exactly on loving the life that you're living right now, and not the life that you think you could have had or should have had, that's the whole deal right there.
Soul on Fire, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Now playing. For tickets, go to soulonfiremovie.com.
Most people don't look forward to their annual physical because they're nervous what the doctor might find. I know that's how I feel. That's why what you do before the appointment matters. So before your next checkup, make the one health change your doctor should notice or your money back. Make it Field of Greens. Doctors today look beyond your calendar age. They look at biological age, how healthy your cells and vital organs are. Field of Greens was designed with that in mind. In fact, a university study found participants who only added Field of Greens saw measurable improvements in key health markers. Just one change changed everything. That's why Field of Greens promises your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back. Go into your next physical confident. One scoop once a day, done. Make Field of Greens your one smart change this year. Check out the university study and get 20% off at fieldofgreens.com, promo code STARNS. That's fieldofgreens.com, promo code STARNS.
We're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When is the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Smokey the Bear.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
What you desire, don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at smokeybear.com, and remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Todd Stearns Radio Show. Great to have you with us. So what is it they've been telling us? That ICE agents are, Nazis, modern-day Klan members, and they're intentionally targeting black and brown people all over America. Is that pretty much it? Have we... I don't think I missed anything there in that description, but basically they're calling them like, Jim Crow, Southern sheriff's deputies running around, and they're intentionally targeting only black people and brown people. As a matter of fact, there was a headline in Memphis, Tennessee, that only 4% of the people arrested by the federal agents are white. And they said, what should we make of this? Well, it seems to me that maybe 96% of the white population's law-abiding, I guess. What do you want me to say? But the idea that they're just going around there targeting black and brown people is ludicrous. And to that, I bring to your attention this headline. Several Irish citizens detained by ICE in U.S. sought official help. So there have been some people from Ireland that are living here illegally, and they've been captured by ICE agents. One of them, his name is Michael Martin, said the treatment of people at ICE facilities was a concern. According to the Irish Times, one of the individuals who sought help was Seamus Culleton, an Irishman living in the United States for more than 20 years. He's been held by ICE since being arrested in September. He described his experience as a torture and appealed to the Irish government to raise his case with Trump during the St. Patrick's Day visit to the White House next month. Culleton's case was reported to the Department of Foreign Affairs, reading from the Irish Times. Late last year, Martin telling journalists he'd only been briefed about it on Monday. He said the government was considering how it can talk to Trump's administration about the case. Here's an idea. When the guy flies in to, I don't know, Andrews Air Force Base, wherever, Joint Base Andrews, make sure there's a spare seat on the Irish Airlines, and you can take that guy back home with you. Now, I did a little bit of research here, and it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, that more than 50,000 illegal Irish immigrants live in the United States right now. And most of them are, dare I say, what's the word I'm looking for? Lily white. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, lily white Irishmen. They're arresting white Irishmen. Oh, my word. So here's the deal. If you're in the country illegally, you have to go back to where you came from. And you know what? I originally had most of my anger directed at all of the people that were breaching our borders and coming across. That was where most of my wrath was being directed. But the more I think about it, the more angry I am over the illegals who have been here 10, 15, 20, 30 years. They've had ample time to get themselves legal. They've had ample time to make them righteous before the eyes of the United States of America. They've had plenty of time, and yet they have chosen not to do that. And honestly, there's no excuse. There's no excuse at all. And that's what angers me, is these people knowingly live their lives as illegals, and they've done nothing about it. That bothers me. And by the way, they're putting their families in danger. They're putting their wives or their spouses in danger, because one day there is going to be a knock at the door. And they talk about living in the shadows. No, they're not living they're hiding in the shadows. They're hiding because they know what they're doing is illegal. So, yeah, I am a purist when it comes to this immigration issue. Everybody has to go back to wherever they came from, and they can come here the legal way. You've been given opportunities, and by the way, this Irishman was given the same opportunity that everybody else was given to self-deport, and they did not do it. And you may say, well, Todd, they own pubs and all. Yeah, that's great. How did they do that, by the way, without a Social Security number? How is that working out? How did they get the liquor licenses? I have lots of questions. All right, 901-260-5926, our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. This is the Todd Stern Show.
It'd be great if life came with a remote control. You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, it's important to support companies and organizations that share our values. Patriot Mobile not only shares our beliefs, but they actually do something about it. America's only conservative Christian wireless carrier. And they donate a portion of every dollar to organizations that fight for causes you care about. Switch to Patriot Mobile now and use the promo code TODD to get free activation and a free gift. Veterans and first responders save even more. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. Many college grads are anti-capitalist activists, so if you're a business owner, how do you find new employees who won't destroy your business? Hi, this is Todd Starnes, and that's where Red Balloon comes in. They're America's #1 pro-freedom job board, and they're shaking up the hiring world by focusing on values and mission-aligned talent. Now, there are two ways Red Balloon can help. You can post your job on their national job board. Over 20,000 people visit every week, or you can hire Red Balloon Recruiter for a more customized talent search. Now, the Recruiter team is really fantastic. They start by learning your workplace culture and writing a custom job posting, and then they source and screen candidates from their national database. Their team conducts first interviews, and you get alerts when they find highly qualified candidates. And Red Balloon delivers these high-quality results at a fraction of traditional corporate recruiter prices. People are saying Red Balloon is a game changer. So check them out today, redballoon.work. Use the promo code STARNS and save $100 on Recruiter.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Todd Starnes Radio Show. So yesterday we played you this audio from the Texas State Rep. His name is Gene Wu, and he doesn't like all you white people out there. Mr. Wu from Texas, he's the minority leader of the Democrats there in the House in Austin. And he said that all of you white people are oppressors and that there are more minorities than there are white people, and payback is a-coming. I mean, that was the gist of what he had to say. So now there is a pastor out there who's saying that God doesn't like MAGA. And I want you to listen to what the pastor had to say from the pulpit.
Come on, public enemy. I came to tell white supremacists. I came to tell MAGA. I came to tell white privilege. We coming, we coming, we coming. We coming, we coming. God said, when you give me glory, I'm going to run them out of the State Department. If you give me glory, I'm going to run them out of Congress and run them out of Senate. If you give me glory, I'm going to run them off of your job and run them off of your classroom. I need you to take your neighbor's hand and say, neighbor, we got to shout like we got faith.
Oh, my throat hurts, Dylan.
He gave it everything he got.
He just like, wah, wah.
I thought he was growling for a second. But
it was. And then he sounds like he has some sort of a throat condition.
Just clear it, you know.
Can I ask you a question? I mean, you're a white guy.
It's true.
I mean, do you feel like we've been marginalized? I think we've added a lot to society.
Yeah, I don't, I feel pretty good about myself, so I don't feel too bad.
I mean, we did found the country.
Yeah, at least.
We whipped the Indians' behinds. I know that's politically incorrect to say, but
yes,
we sent them packing.
Yes,
and we beat the British and the god-awful French.
Yeah, that was good. We did beat the British.
So all I'm saying is, I think we've contributed a lot. We've made biscuits. I think a white guy made that.
Probably. I don't know if we made the gravy, but we definitely made the biscuits.
Mayonnaise. Yeah. I think we gave the country, and
saltine,
white bread.
Saltine crackers.
Yeah. White out. We gave people white out.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Give me a second.
White paint.
No, I think that's polar bear. No, eggshell white. Eggshell white.
Eggshell,
which is different from polar bear white.
Yeah.
We get. I've got it.
Yeah.
Country music. Country music. That's it.
Indeed.
And Muzak. Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yes.
I don't see anybody else coming up with an Engelbert.
You're so right.
Do you?
No more Engelberts coming up with.
Maybe a Shanae, but no. We've got Engelbert. We got Liberace.
We have a lot to be proud of.
We do. Oh, we've got the we've got Zuckerberg. He gave us Facebook.
Yeah. You're so right.
So I don't understand why people are always like, crushing white people. We've added a lot to society.
And while he's growling at it, it's like we're food or something.
They call us the enemy. By the way, there's a new survey out that says, guess which demographic is the least racist group in the world?
You want me to guess?
Yes, guess.
White people.
White people. Yes. We're a very tolerant bunch. I'm just telling you. By the way, this report out, a study finds that 29% of Hispanics misclassified as white in criminal records. Well, that's a problem. Also, according to Wikipedia, they wrote this about the Caucasian race, and for those of you, that's the official terminology. People for the Caucasian persuasion, all of you white people out there, you honkies, you crackers, or as we prefer to be called on this program, saltine Americans. According to Wikipedia, the Caucasian race is an obsolete racial classification of humans. Jeez, they've already written us off, Dylan. The problem is we're not out there, our people aren't out there having babies. And you know who I blame for this? I blame the Catholics and the Mormons. I mean, you guys were having 7, 8 kids. I mean, you Mormons, you had all the singing groups, all the kids could sing and play an instrument. You gave us the Osmond brothers and Hanson, Mbop. Well, there were only 3 of them, so that was a warning sign. Hanson was the canary in the coal mine. We noticed that the Mormon singing groups, the Mormon family singing groups, were shrinking.
Yeah,
we should have known.
We had so many babies that they made TV shows for us.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, we did have the anomaly was the Waltons, and were the Waltons Baptist? I think the Waltons, somebody's going to call in and tell us that, a little bit of trivia, but on Walton's Mountain, they had, 7 or 8 kids, and then these little urchins would come along, when older kids were not cute anymore. The TV producers had to get little kids, new kids. So they were always adopting people and whatnot. But all that to say that white folks are just not procreating as much as they used to. And I don't know why that is, but, there are some people, there are the anomalies. Oh, who's the family out of Arkansas that has 78 kids and counting? The Duggars.
The Duggars.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you.
Some things went wrong, but,
I mean,
that's what happens when you have 20 kids.
I figured since I already crapped all over the TPUSA halftime show, I may as well just go all in.
You're already in the hole. You might as well keep digging.
Just go all in. I don't either. Anyway, all that to say that, look, I mean, you've got, I think this Mr. Wu here from Texas, he was spilling the tea, as they say, that ultimately they're going to put you, white person, in your place. I mean, I guess I appreciate the guy being honest about it, but it's a really sad situation. But again, such intolerance in this country right now. And it goes back to something I said yesterday. This is what happens when you've taught an entire generation of kids critical race theory, that white people are bad and white people are responsible for every problem you have ever had in life. And that is going to lead to a very bad time. And I think we're just beginning to see that develop here in the country. 901-260-5926. Oh, McDonald's. White guy, two white brothers.
Great example.
Thank you very much.
Doesn't get much better than McDonald's.
Popeye's fried chicken and biscuits. A white guy. I know that's really? A shocker. Yes, a white guy.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Love that chicken at Popeye's.
Yes, we do.
I'm just saying. 901-260-5926. That's 901-260-5926. Golf? I think we created golf. We'll take it. We're going to make a list. No, you got to be proud of your people, right? You got to be proud. I mean, look, we're in the middle of February. This is Black History Month. Everybody's saluting everybody. So we got to get a couple of folks in there. Engelbert and Liberace. And Minnie Pearl. Grandpa Jones. Those are our people. Got to take a break. We'll be right back.
It's Todd Starnes.
Hi, this is Todd Starnes. I realize there are many choices when it comes to who you choose for your cell phone service, and there are new ones popping up all the time. But here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American that believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that's Patriot Mobile. For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms while providing exceptional nationwide cell phone service with access to all three of the main networks. Don't just take my word for it. Ask the hundreds of thousands of Americans who've made the switch and are now supporting causes they believe in simply by joining Patriot Mobile. Switching is easier than ever. Activate in minutes from the comfort of your own home. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Patriot Mobile's all U.S.-based support team is standing by to take care of you. Call 972-PATRIOT today or go to patriotmobile.com/Todd. Use promo code Todd for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT and make the switch today. Hi, this is Todd Starnes, and there's no better time to get in shape than right now. That's why I'm really excited that Calitrin is part of my weight loss campaign. Here's my friend Elizabeth from Calitrin.
Yes, this is the time of the year when people start giving up on the weight loss. They give up on their New Year's resolutions, but don't give up yet. It's really just the plan that failed. It didn't fit real life. But with Calitrin, it's easy, once a day, right at bedtime. You take it, and it works with your body naturally to rev up your metabolism and help you feel better so you can really have more energy, better sleep, less joint pain, eat better. Overall, just look and feel better than you have in years. So check it out for yourself on our website, toploss.com. There's real people just like you and me getting results. It's toploss.com or call us 833-TOP-LOSS.
Thanks, Elizabeth, and be sure to use that promo code Todd.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm a 70-year-old man. I'm not a young guy. And I'm an ex-athlete. Well, yeah, when I was shaking it, I recognized that I was feeling better. You know what I'm saying? And just mentally knowing is important also.
I am a customer of you guys. I love your product. Love it, love it. Nothing but good things to say about your product. I love it. And as long as y'all are going to sell it, I'm going to take it as long as I can.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I like a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back. This is the Todd Starnes Radio Show. Great to have you with us today. By the way, our telephone number, if you'd like to call in, and you can do that. We are a caller-driven show. Our telephone number, 901-260-5926. Again, that's 901-260-5926. So I want to play some audio. This is from last night on our Newsmax show, the Todd Starnes Show. And we had Congressman Mark Harris on talking about, all the hullabaloo surrounding the Super Bowl halftime show and just really the state of the spiritual warfare that's happening in our country right now. Let's take a listen to that. Well, joining me now is Congressman Mark Harris, a Republican from North Carolina. Congressman, good to have you with us today. All right, what say you? Did you watch any of the halftime shows?
Well, I did, Todd. I figured at some point today I would be asked about it, and so I did. I will admit that there was part of it at one point that I just had to turn away. My wife and I said, I cannot watch this anymore. And so it was just disgusting, parts of it, no doubt. And really to see flags from other countries that were flying, to see the things that were taking place in that show. And really, I'll be honest with you, I looked at my wife at one point and I said, why they think that this is somehow winning the hearts and minds of Americans. I said, really, anybody that's part of the Make America Great Again movement, this only fires up the base. And so I don't know. It was disgusting. I thought the president, a few minutes later, we saw what he put out. I think he gave a very accurate review and once again was stating for everybody what everybody was thinking.
President Trump called the performance a slap in the face to our country. Is that how you felt?
I did. I felt the fact that I kept listening and thinking, what am I missing here? And because nothing was in English. And just I kept thinking at some point that he was going to switch over, but it never did. And so you didn't know what he was saying. You could only see the actions, as vulgar as they were. And it left a very poor taste in my mouth, for sure.
Well, there was also a very clear political message woven through all of this. Bad Bunny says ICE out. President Trump is saying we need some illegals to work farm and hotel jobs. I don't know about that, Congressman. I believe when we say deport everybody, we need to be deporting everybody. What say you?
Well, I do believe that the president is continuing to try to fulfill the promise that was made. You know, this is a multi-step process that I think we've all known from the beginning that had to take place. There had to be the first step to secure the border. And I mean to tell you, the president has done a yeoman's job of making sure that that has happened. And the border is secure. I feel confident in making that statement today. The second step was to deport the criminal illegal alien. And I do think that most Americans believe that that was going after those with the criminal record, criminal background that were here. Now, we all understand that anybody that has come across the border illegally is here illegally. They've committed a crime by how they came in. But I do think it was also clear that the president was going after the worst of the worst. As we saw things in cities across this country, we saw what happened out in Colorado and those apartment complexes, those gangs. We've seen the number of murders. So they have been trying to target the criminal illegal aliens. And in the process of that, anybody they have come across who is here illegally has been deported. I think that continues. But I also think there's a third step in the process, and that is coming to some point at some place that we're able to look at where we are with immigration and reform our numbers, reform our laws. I don't know what those numbers are going to be, but we've got some great programs here, like the H-2A program that helps those that aren't in the agriculture industry. They need to be brought here the right way, the legal way, but there is a lot of conversation that is going on for how we can do it and build off the successes that we've already had.
So the question is now, do we double down here? Because there are some within the administration that say we need to back off. The White House needs to go easy. We need to have a softer touch. That language coming from the president. But what do you say, ladies and gentlemen? CNN has a fascinating survey up, and they've discovered that an overwhelming number of Black Americans actually support voter ID. Take a listen.
Take a look here. Favorite photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of Black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country. A photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race. The vast majority of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj that, in fact, you should have a photo ID to be able to vote.
I never thought I would say this, Dylan, but I agree with Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, what a time we live in, right?
I may have to download some of her music.
Maybe be cautious there, but she's good.
You know what happens though with these artists that are out there? These we call them in the Christian lingo, we call them the secular artist.
Yes.
You know what happens? They'll make an album of hymns, right? Because they want to reach. So Nicki Minaj may Nicki Minaj sing Southern gospel.
She may pull a Kanye. Is what they. Yeah.
It's a great gospel song. I thank God for the preacher who scared the hell out of me.
There it is.
It's a great song.
Hey, she could come up with a remix of that.
Well, she could.
Yep.
I mean, you never know.
I'd listen to it.
Right.
There's like a rap section or something.
I would too.
Yep.
I would love to hear Nicki Minaj rap the classics.
Come on. Nikki, if you're listening.
Nicki Minaj raps the Baptist hymnal. I love that.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Just... We could like a 3-volume set.
Yeah.
Sell it on QVC.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all over that.
Grammys.
Okay, what were we talking about? I have no idea what we were. Oh, yes. Back to the voter ID. So hear me on this, ladies and gentlemen. This is an important point. So 76% of Black Americans support voter ID. 82% of Hispanic Americans support voter ID. So what's the problem in our Senate, on our Senate side, controlled by the Republicans? It goes back to the very first question I asked. Are the senators being blackmailed? And I know that sounds so ludicrous and it sounds so conspiratorial, but I can't figure it out. There is no downside to this at all. An overwhelming number of the American people, both Republican and Democrat and independent, believe that we ought to be able to show an ID to go and vote. And yet Senate Majority Leader John Thune says, no, we're not going to vote. We don't have time now. What do you mean you don't have time? You've had a year and 2 months. The House of Representatives voted on the SAVE Act 300 days, over 300 days ago. So what do you mean you don't have time? No, sir, you had time. You just chose not to use your time wisely. So the question is, why? It doesn't make any sense politically. There is literally no political downside here. Everybody supports it. As a matter of fact, there's an upside. Not only does everybody support it, but the upside is once you show an ID, there's a very good chance that Republicans will start winning elections where those elections were being stolen by people showing up with no ID, people cheating, people who were not qualified to vote, casting a ballot. There's only an upside here. So something is going on, and somebody has something on John Thune and the Senate leadership. Either that or John Thune is a closet Democrat, and he wants us to fail. And I'm curious what you think about that. Our telephone number, by the way, 901-260-5926. That's 901-260-5926. We're going to be taking your calls in the next hour on that very issue. All right, coming up, we have the Florida Speaker of the House, Paul Renner. He's going to be joining us from Florida. He's running for governor, and he is a good guy. So looking forward to having a conversation with him. Also, Josh Jones, a Republican strategist, and Monty Fritz, a state representative running for governor in Tennessee. He'll be joining us as well. And just a reminder, folks, head over in the break and go check out ToddStearns.com. You're going to love my column. I have a new piece up on Andy Ogles. It's a doozy. We'll talk more about it when we come back. 901-260-5926. That is our number. This is the Todd Starnes Show.
Grandma's Kitchen, where laughter and warm meals mingle. Each bite is a journey through generations. As you gather around the table, complement the meal with Balance of Nature fruits and veggie supplements. Our veggie supplement, made from 15 ingredients like garlic, onion, and cayenne pepper, can easily be opened and added to your favorite dishes, like homemade soups or dips. Not to mention our fruit supplement, which is made from 16 ingredients like banana, strawberries, and mango, making it a great addition to your homemade smoothies. So the next time you gather with family, enjoy Balance of Nature supplements as an addition to your favorite dishes. Start your journey with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your preferred set as a new preferred customer with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
Mama, what does the chicken say?
Chicken. Oh, okay.
And wolf?
Oh, a wolf. Ooh!
What about the tiny dog? Cat? Owl? Dolphin? What does the turkey say? Whale?
Yeah, whale sound.
Do the giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Okay. Giraffe. Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hello, Americans. I'm Todd Starnes. Stand by for news and commentary next.
From Affirm Films and director Sean McNamara comes Soul on Fire, based on a true story. When John O'Leary suffers burns over 100% of his body, it's a battle for survival. But through the care and support of community heroes, John's resilience leads him to discover what it means to truly live.
The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire.
Soul on Fire. Rated PG, parental guidance suggested. Now playing. More information is available at soulonfiremovie.com.
Soul on fire.
Members of the U.S. Olympic team came up with a clever name for their hospitality space. They called it the Ice House, a place for skaters, hockey players, and speed skaters to hang out after hours. But the name caused great concern among our woke athletes, fearing that sports fans might misconstrue the meaning of the word ice. So, for the sake of sensitivity, they're calling it the Winter House. And it's only a matter of time until the team announces they will not be hitting the ice, but instead an oval body of frozen water. And the figure skaters will be prancing around on a sheet of winter precipitation. And if you're invited to drop by the Winter House for a snack, whatever you do, don't ask the bartender for extra ice. The Olympic Games have not even commenced, and the Americans have already taken home a gold medal for virtue signaling. I have much more to say about this story at toddsterns.com.
The Todd Starnes Show begins in 4 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 2 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 1 minute.
from the Liberty University studio in Memphis, Tennessee, it's Common Sense Conservative Commentary from Todd Starnes.
That's us. That's right. I love this American ride.
All right. Hello, everyone. Todd Starnes here with you. A new photograph has just been released regarding the search for Savannah Guthrie's mother. And this is just a completely weird story. Anyway, a new photo has been released, and the photo shows an armed suspect on Nancy Guthrie's door camera. That's what it shows. Now, she's been missing now. Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old. She's been missing since the night of January 31st. That's the last time anybody had seen her. The FBI releasing surveillance photos of the subject in a statement with the Pima County Sheriff's Department. The FBI says the images show an armed individual appearing to have tampered with the camera at Nancy Guthrie's front door the morning of her disappearance. The FBI said that it had not identified any suspects or persons of interest. You know, one of the big questions I have here is the family relationship and the family dynamic. I'm trying to understand why Nancy Guthrie, who was at the home of her daughter, took an Uber home. There's only 10 minutes away. Why would you send your 84-year-old mother who has trouble walking? Why would you put her in an Uber? Why not just drop her back off at her home? I don't know. Maybe the investigators have asked those questions. I don't know. The family believes Guthrie is still out there and is asking for the public's help in finding her. There was a video on social media yesterday, and Savannah Guthrie said that viewers need to report anything strange to law enforcement. We're at an hour of desperation, and we need your help. So the FBI said yesterday that they are not aware of any continued communication between the Guthrie family and the suspected kidnappers. There was like a big deadline yesterday, 5 o'clock. And that came and went. They were asking for just I think it's $8 or $9 million. And yeah, nobody's heard anything. Guthrie said they were willing to pay whatever they could. Does anybody else find this story just weird? That a lot of things are just not adding up, and I just don't get it. 901-260-5926 is our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. So, Dylan, there was a video released, and I am not a big horror movie guy. I never have been. I don't like it. It creeps me out. I get the bad dreams. And I have to sleep with the lights on. So I don't watch these horror movies. But there's one in particular that just completely grossed me out. Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one, though, Todd. That's not that scary.
No, it's like psychological thriller.
It is psychological because, I mean, he did,
eat people?
Cannibal. Yeah, that part of it's not great, but it's not like a jump scare. It is very psychological.
So anyway, somebody noticed that Savannah Guthrie's message in those videos that she and the siblings have been doing,
yes,
the wording was exactly the same wording that was used in Silence of the Lambs.
I noticed that.
So you
I love that movie. But I did notice that, yeah.
So anyway, here's what Savannah said. Nancy is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see. And the way she said it was just kind of weird and creepy. I'm just sharing. I'm not making accusations. I'm just saying the whole thing is weird.
Yeah. Other people have pointed that out too. A lot of people are finding this a little,
I don't know what to make of it. Sketchy, maybe?
Sketchy.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Too coincidental, maybe.
Anyway, the same words were used in the movie when a mother was speaking out to the captors of her daughter. The same language. Is that a coincidence, or is there something else going on here? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could be that they've got their own, Hannibal Lecter down in Tucson, Arizona. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen. It's all very strange. So anyway, that's the latest on the Savannah Guthrie case. It's all very strange, all very weird. Speaking also of very strange and very weird, Ayanna Pressley is now facing more questions. So get this. This woman, her husband, and God love him, he made some mistakes, went to prison on some drug charges, came out of prison, and now, since 2019, I think 2018, they had very little money in the bank. According to financial disclosures, Presley's worth, are you ready for this? Presley's worth went from $12,500 before she was elected in 2018 to $8 million in 2024. How do you think that happens? Her salary, $174,000 a year. That's how much she makes. The majority of Presley's wealth is in real estate. She has rental properties in Boston and Edgerton, Massachusetts, among other places. She also purchased a home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. What's up with these Democrats? You know, they're down with the people, and they've got homes in just about every state. According to her first report submitted in 2018, Presley began her time in Congress with 3 major debt obligations that have only grown. She owed between $610,000 and $1.2 million from the mortgages. And in her most recent reporting, Presley reported $3.2 million and $9 million in debt. Something very strange is going on there. Very strange indeed, ladies and gentlemen. 901-260-5926, our telephone number. That's 901-260-5926. Let's go to Danny in Selmer, Tennessee, listening to us on KWAM. Hi, Danny. What's on your mind today?
Oh, you started off talking about the halftime show. I had something I was kind of wondering about that. I think I figured out what the crotch grabbing is about. I'm not sure, but I believe, you know, in today's day and age with all these people not knowing what gender they are and stuff, I think you're reaching down there trying to figure out what he is or remind himself if he's male or female, or maybe trying to identify what that is. So sometimes he wears a dress, sometimes he wears pants, so maybe he reaches down there to check and find out if he's a boy or a girl.
Well, you know, it's all fluid, so you never know. I mean,
yeah.
One song,
it changes.
Maybe it changes.
Yeah. The other thing, you know, I mean, with the COVID vaccine and stuff,
yeah.
Maybe they've been checking into health issues there with, you know, lung and coronary and stuff, and maybe this ties into the gender misidentification and stuff, because maybe they should check and see if the COVID vaccine caused brain damage, because a lot of people seem to have lost their minds after getting the COVID vaccine, I believe.
Danny,
so maybe it's causing I don't know if I'm onto something or not, but maybe that's the gender thing and the COVID vaccine and all these leftists losing their minds and things. It's the COVID vaccine. So I don't know. Just wondering there. So,
well,
yep.
Danny, I tell you, you came loaded for bear today, and you may be onto something there. Danny, thank you for calling in. Danny says he's just checking to see. I had suggested that maybe he was dealing with an itch, and maybe he needed an ointment, and that can be so distracting. I mean, you're out there in front of millions of people dancing away, and, you know, a foreign tongue, and people are doing other things with their tongues all around him there on the football field, and it can be distracting. By the way, Congressman Andy Ogles from Tennessee is now demanding congressional investigations. He says it was an absolute disgrace, and he wants Congress to No, I'm not making this up, Dylan. Don't interrupt me. Congressman Ogles is demanding that Congress probe the halftime show. He wants to know why people were dry humping. It's a fair question, I guess. I don't know, but I'm sure people have their reasons. The congressman literally demanding an investigation for what he called gay pornography during the Super Bowl halftime show. My question is, does the bumping and the grinding rise to pornography? Congressman Ogle said Bad Bunny's heavily sexualized performance was a disgrace and it mocked American families. You know, Dylan, your grandfather, my great uncle, Jerry Lee, Uncle Jerry Lee once said, the only tight ends handling balls should be on the football field and not the halftime show.
Very wise words.
Those are wise. He was a wise man.
Yes.
God rest his soul. A wise man. The congressman writing on X, depicting gay porn on primetime has no place in our culture. The Bad Bunny performance is conclusive proof that Puerto Rico should never be a state. Well, that's a bit of a stretch, don't you think, there, Congressman? We're just labeling all of them. Okay, whatever. Ogles fired off a letter to the chairman of the Committee on Energy and Commerce. That's the committee that would investigate any violations of the Federal Communications Commission Act. And there are FCC regulations governing explicit and indecent content. I know many of you are listening to this program and you're like, really? We had no idea. To be fair, ladies and gentlemen, Bad Bunny did warn Americans that his show would be a celebration of queerness. And he also threatened to wear a dress. You know, he didn't wear a dress. He said he was going to wear a dress.
What a letdown.
Probably didn't want to shave his legs. It was a little chilly there. They got the breeze.
You're right.
Got the breeze.
The San Francisco breeze.
You don't want the air circulating up the skirt. And, you know, you
definitely couldn't air that.
Nobody wants that. Would take care of the itch, though. The congressman pointed out the program was filled with all sorts of explicit sexual references and graphic content that included, I can't say those on the radio, whoops, sexual intercourse. He referenced two songs in particular. The lyrics are literally too vulgar for me to mention on the radio. And we did that yesterday. We did a dramatic reading yesterday of the. That was very well done, I thought, Dylan. The music made the whole moment.
It was classy.
Ogles also took issue with the choreography that featured overtly sexualized movements, including widespread twerking, grinding, pelvic thrust, and other sexually suggestive conduct. I can't do a pelvic thrust. It'll throw my back out. You know, you hit a certain age, you got to be careful. Got to be careful on the dance floor. Now, the entire show, ladies and gentlemen, you might remember this, was performed entirely in Spanish, so nobody knew that they were cursing out the wazoo and twerking it as well, the wazoo, not the language. But anyway, a lot of people, and many good church-going Americans, you know, that because the music was a little catchy, right? You had no idea what they were saying, but they had that little Latin vibe, that salsa music. You know, you couldn't help but tap your toe to it, but they had no idea they were tapping their toe to lyrics that would have made the people of Sodom and Gomorrah blush. Mr. Ogles, writing in his letter, the Super Bowl, consistently the largest family viewing event in American media. As such, broadcasters have a heightened responsibility to ensure that programming aired during this uniquely national event complies with long-standing broadcast decency expectations and serves the public interest. Harumph, harumph, harumph. He's really getting wound up here, Congressman. So look, here's the deal. At the very least, just throwing this out there, and I'm not disparaging anybody's culture, none of that. At the very least, the NFL, they could have just put up a warning label on the TV screen. Warning, warning, two men grinding on each other coming up. You know, just letting parents know, giving them the option. So if they didn't want to see, you know, two gay men doing the nasty, that, you know, they could just have the kids go to the other room along with grandma and grandpa and the rest of the God-fearing members of the family. Ogles continues. It was a long letter. Children were forced to endure explicit displays of gay sexual acts. Really, it was just really one, and it wasn't that much, but it was enough. Women gyrating provocatively, and Bad Bunny shamelessly grabbing his crotch while dry humping the air. Good God. Congressman Ogles makes a very compelling argument here, because I'm just going to speak. This is just my truth, all right? I don't think anybody wants to see grown adults dry humping anything while you're there trying to eat your barbecue cocktail weenies at the Super Bowl party. I'm just saying. But overall, may I just put a pin in this for a moment? All that to say, and I appreciate where the congressman's coming from here. I really do. But doesn't Congress have more pressing matters they need to be attending to? Just asking. 901-260-5926. That's 901-260-5926. This is the Todd Starnes Show.
From the front lines of the culture wars, it's Todd Starnes.
America doesn't need barbed wire or secret police to lose freedom. All it takes is silence. Live Not by Lies is a gripping docuseries by Angel Studios that reveals how soft totalitarianism is creeping into everyday life. Through powerful stories from people who lived under communism, it warns of what happens when we surrender truth for safety. This is a must-watch for anyone who loves faith, family, and freedom. Stream the series now, only on Angel Guild, by visiting angel.com/Starnes.
From fruits and veggies to fiber and spice, Balance of Nature supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
Well, I stopped taking it for a while, and then it dawned on me, so I started taking it again. And I don't know, I like it. I mean, I love them. I'm never going to stop taking them. And I've got a friend that's coming over here. I'm giving her a little bit for her to go try.
I love the product. I wouldn't be without it. Ever since I started that product, I remember seeing an ad way back. That's what convinced me. I tried it, and I've been a believer. Nothing compares with it, so I'm a lifer with it. I'm not going to change.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements today. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 35% off your first preferred set. Don't wait. Now's the time to take action. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
America has a new choice for fair and balanced news. ToddStarnes.com. Journalism you can trust from some of the best reporters and opinion writers in the business. ToddStarnes.com takes you to the front lines of the culture war, defending faith, freedom, and your family. ToddStarnes.com also features exclusive interviews with America's top newsmakers like Mike Huckabee, Franklin Graham, and Newt Gingrich. Find out why millions of Americans read ToddStarnes.com every day. It's news you can trust. ToddStarnes.com.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 844-43-BIBLE. That's 844-43-BIBLE. 844-43-BIBLE.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Get hurt in the game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's go to the phones. Lee in Memphis, Tennessee, listening to us on KWAM. Hi, Lee. What's on your mind today?
Man, I'll be honest with you. What's that congressman's name? What state? Who was he?
Andy Ogles. He represents Middle Tennessee, sort of like the Nashville, the burbs.
Oh, my God. Thank God for him. I agree with you and that congressman 100%. I mean, we have these cities, I'm just saying, like San Francisco, the Solomon of the United States, Atlanta, the Gomorrah of the United States. We got to stop this stuff, man. It's ridiculous. Because most of the people that I talk to, they say they love the halftime show. And what you telling me is true? That two men up there grinding each other?
They were, yeah, they were grinding there. They left very little to the imagination, Lee.
Cold-blooded.
Let me just say this. If this would have happened in a Baptist church, the Women's Missionary Union would have hauled off and slapped him upside the head with a cast iron skillet.
You're right. Just think about all the halftime shows that the NFL had, like the Broad off of Janet Jackson, how many people were so upset with that?
Nipplegate, yes.
Ones. Yeah, and they talk about the heterosexual heritage that happened, but when it comes to the homo, they glorify it. I can't understand. Oh, my God.
Well, wasn't that, well, hold on, Nipplegate, that was when Janet Jackson showed a little bit of boobage, and Justin Timberlake that was the moment that Justin Timberlake's voice changed.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly.
Heterosexual.
Yeah.
You know, all this is heterosexual. And a lot of people got problems with that. But when it comes to stuff like that, homosexual, oh, my God. And no outbursts about it. And they saying it was great, wonderful. Man, we in for a rude awakening.
All right, Lee. Gotta run, my friend. Thank you for that. Wow. All right, hang tight, everybody. Got to take a quick break. This is the Todd Stern Show.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, it's important to support companies and organizations that share our values. Patriot Mobile not only shares our beliefs, but they actually do something about it. America's only conservative Christian wireless carrier. And they donate a portion of every dollar to organizations that fight for causes you care about. Switch to Patriot Mobile now and use the promo code TODD to get free activation and a free gift. Veterans and first responders save even more. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. Hi, this is Todd Stearns. This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history, and it's because of loyal listeners like you. They're still standing strong. To show their appreciation, they're offering special Christmas savings exclusively for our listeners. Right now, you can get the Children's Bible Story Pillow 5-pack for just $29.98, My Slippers with a free bottle of leather protectant spray for $39.98, and a variety of blankets, comforters, and duvets starting as low as $25. Plus, there's a major blowout deal on the standard MyPillow. Get this, only $14.98. Visit MyPillow.com or call 1-800-839-8506 and use promo code STARNS to unlock these wholesale prices. That includes the standard MyPillow, normally $49.98, now just $14.98, with queen sizes marked down to $18.99 and king sizes for only $1 more. That's MyPillow.com or call 800-839-8506 and use promo code STARNS.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Dylan, you caught any of the Olympics by any chance? Are you a Winter Olympic guy?
You know, I'm typically not, but right after the Super Bowl, they were airing some of the Olympics, and I caught a little bit of the ice skating.
The one of the curlers, and I don't know how to say the guy's last name, and I really don't care. Anyway, he hates America. Take a listen to this.
First of all, I'd like to say I'm proud to be here to represent Team USA and to represent our country.
But
we'd be remiss if we didn't at least mention what's going on in Minnesota and what a tough time it's been for everybody. This stuff is happening right around where we live. And I am a lawyer, as you know, and we do we have a constitution, and it allows us to freedom of the press and freedom of speech, protects us from unreasonable searches and seizures, and makes it that we have to, have probable cause to be pulled over. And what's happening in Minnesota is wrong. There's no shades of gray. It's clear.
Okay, I'm done with this guy. By the way, what's going on in the background? It sounds like they're like in the kitchen and somebody's doing the dishes. It's the Olympics. A little cheap this year. Maybe they didn't have much of a budget. Look, this guy's a moron. And what bothers me here is, he's got a right to say whatever he wants to say, but you don't have a right to do that and be on Team USA. You are there representing your country, not yourself, not your point of view, not your politics, none of that. And if you can't come to terms with that, then that is on you, and you do not belong in Italy right now. And the reality is, for most of these kids who are, this guy's an attorney, but most of them, this is it for them. This is the Olympics, and then they go and they become insurance agents, or they go work the stockroom at TJ Maxx. That's just the reality of it. So, again, my issue is with the athletes and with these moron reporters who are asking these questions. That's who I've got a bigger problem with. All right, let's go to the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line. Say hello to our good friend, Josh Jones, Republican strategist. Josh, I could see you as a speed skater or a curler.
Yeah, I can't say I'm one much for the Winter Olympics, but to Dylan's point, I did watch a little bit of it after the Super Bowl. So
I wouldn't take you as a figure skater. You're not a very graceful person, but you could probably lift a girl. Well, not one of the large gals, but you could probably lift somebody in the air.
I will say, I went ice skating for the very first time a couple months ago. Very first time in my life. I was awful at it. So maybe I'm built for the Summer Olympics.
All right, we'll get you to pole vaulting or something.
Right.
Or hold on, what's the one where you got a broom? It's a broom and you're you're shuttling this little. What is that called, Dylan?
I don't know the official name, but that's pretty good. I like the description of that.
Or pickleball. Pickleball would be a great sport.
Yeah, I'm bringing pickleball, I think, actually.
Can you throw a punch?
Olympics.
We could get it's like a lightweight.
Look, I can do some kind of running thing, maybe.
Oh, that's good. All right, that's good. All right, we'll pencil you in. If you need sponsors, let us know. Josh, before we, in all seriousness, when it comes to the Olympics, does that bother you that you've got these athletes? It used to not be like this. People used to be so excited to play for America.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Look, at the end of the day, everybody has a right to their opinion, their point of view on things, whether I agree with you or not. That's beyond the point. But when you're representing the country overseas, particularly at the Olympics or in that sort of capacity, this isn't meant to be a political event. This is the biggest sporting event of the world. And, it happens every 2 years. You have the Winter Olympics and you have the Summer Olympics. It's not meant to be about politics. So look, like I said, you're welcome to voice your grievances in your own private capacity. But when you're elevated by a platform of being on Team USA, it should be about the Olympics and the sport, not about your personal viewpoints.
Well said. We've been following the developments not just out of Virginia, but now Maryland, where looks like the Democrats are going to completely eliminate all Republican congressional districts. There's only one, so that belongs to Andy Harris, chairman of the House Freedom Caucus. And in your state, your home state, the Commonwealth of Virginia, what they're going to eliminate to all but one? Is that the plan?
Yeah, so that's what they're currently doing is right now Virginia is fairly split down the middle. There's 6 Democrat representatives in the House and then 5 Republicans. And they're redrawing that map to be 10 Democrats and 1 Republican. And the governor and newly elected Governor Abigail Spanberger, who pretends to be this moderate during the campaign, is fully on board with their agenda. So that's where we're at in the process right now.
Does it have to go before voters? And if so, will that happen before the elections in November, in the midterms?
Pending a yes. So basically, right now it's being litigated in the courts whether or not this is a legal process that the House Democrats and House Senate members are pursuing So it's in the courts right now. It's been elevated to the Virginia Supreme Court, and we're waiting to hear back from them. Assuming they say this is okay, it's illegal, you can move forward, it will go to a referendum to Virginia voters in April. I believe the pending date is April 11th, but sometime in mid-April.
Well, it's really shocking to see how all of this is playing out, and yet the Republicans, for example, in Indiana, they're standing their ground. They refuse to do what, to the Democrats, what the Democrats are doing to Republicans in Virginia.
Yeah, look, I mean, it is a political knife fight, and that's what's happening around the country right now. And clearly, particularly when it comes to Virginia, Democrats are not pulling any of their punches. I mean, they are absolutely drawing the most aggressive maps they can, essentially, to lock in this Democrat majority, all under the guise of leveling the playing field and making it fair. But really, this is just a power grab by radical leftists in Richmond who now control all three branches of the government and are using this opportunity to seize power.
I'm wondering, are you hearing any rumblings from even Democrats, among the citizenry there, about all of these taxes that they're handing? Or was it 50 plus taxes?
Right, yeah. It is the single largest amount of proposed tax increases in Virginia history. And to your point, Abigail Spenberger and a lot of the Democrats on the ballot this last November ran as moderates, saying, we're going to go back to the middle of the road, a sense of bipartisanship, all this other stuff. And then they get in the office and they're just proposing all these tax increases. I mean, from a gym membership tax to a dog walking tax to every Amazon delivery has a new 4% tax on it. And yeah, a lot of the Democrats or people who voted Democrat in this last election, I've spoken to quite a few who have been like, this isn't what I voted for. I thought I was voting for, a middle of the road bipartisan, don't rock the boat, not 50 new taxes in the first couple of weeks.
I'm curious, though, about, not just Virginia, but when you look at the midterms as a whole, I'm curious to hear thoughts on Senate Majority Leader John Thune, because I genuinely don't know what is going on there. We played some audio from CNN just a little while ago. 76% of Black Americans support voter ID. 82% of Latino Americans support voter ID. And yet he is just not going to budge on getting this legislation passed through the Senate, something the House did over 300 days ago. I mean, Josh, why would the Senate Majority Leader do something like that, knowing the majority of the American people are actually on the Republican side here?
That's a good question, Todd. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward bill, all things considered. I mean, and like you mentioned, the House has already passed this, so it's on the Senate to take the action to bring it up for a floor vote. And look, maybe Thune thinks he doesn't have the votes to get it through the Senate, and that's why he doesn't want to bring it to the floor. But I'd say bring it to the floor anyways. Force a vote, force people to pick a side, and then at least you then know where people stand. Because, like you mentioned, the vast majority of Americans across all demographics support voter ID. It's just simple, common sense legislation. So the fact that the Senate isn't taking this to a floor vote right away, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either, and I'm just genuinely concerned. This may be our last chance. There is some reporting out there, I believe it was Cook, who said even the Senate may now be in play as a result of the inaction. If that happens, and again, I think that's going to be a long shot. I mean, we're looking at 8 possible seats. I think we're going to be fine, but still, the idea that we could be in danger in the Senate, what does that tell you?
Look, I mean, the political landscape for Republicans right now is looking pretty bleak. And look, I say that as someone who works on the Republican side of the aisle in elections. And I'm not saying that as a necessary just, criticism for the sake of criticism, but because I care and I want our team to do good. So look, midterms are looking rough right now. But Republicans still have time. I mean, it's only the beginning of the year. If Congress can get their act together and pass some of these key pieces of legislation and get out there and get on the campaign trail and say, look what we're doing in D.C., it's working, rehire us to do it, to keep it going for another 2 years, that could be a winning message. But look, we're in an uphill battle right now. And also, some just general analysis is typically the party who owns the White House loses seats in the midterms. That typically happens. So I'm not saying It's not to be expected to a degree. But, I mean, Republicans have to be fighting tooth and nail to keep a majorities. Otherwise, the next 2 years are just going to be a total stall out.
All right, Josh, we're going to leave it there. We'll let you get back to training for the summer games.
Thanks, Todd. I appreciate it.
All right, good man right there, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Jones, our Republican strategist, keeping an eye on things up in Washington for us. We've been talking a lot about AI and all the weird, crazy, bad things about AI. I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day. His name is Michael Youssef. Many of you know him from his church there in the Atlanta area, his national ministry, one of the most brilliant minds I know. And they are coming up with some new technology that is going to really, I think, revolutionize the way we study the Bible. It's something called My Faith Assistant. It's a Bible-based AI tool. This is the most incredible thing here, and it's pretty awesome. And I want you to get something to write down so you can get information on how to get this. It's completely free. There is no login required, none of that. It's called myfaithassistant.com. myfaithassistant.com. Completely free. There's no login required. But this is pretty awesome. A lot of Christians have tried to use online AI tools just to ask basic Bible questions. And instead, and I've tried this with ChatGPT, you get vague, misleading, and quite frankly, in some unbiblical answers. And that is very concerning, and especially if you're trying to study your Bible and you're wanting to find some sort of an online help for you, you want something that is going to be reliable. So technology is not the problem. You've got to make sure your technology is tethered to the truth. Otherwise, you're going to get lost, which is why Pastor Youssef and his ministry, Leading the Way, created My Faith Assistant. It's pretty cool. This is not some sort of like a generic chatbot. This is a Bible-anchored, theologically vetted tool, and it's built on scripture and seminary-level resources, so it's going to be great. And it's also been shaped by more than 50 years of the teaching of Dr. Youssef. And he is, again, not only is he a pastor, he is an incredible scholar, and he is also a cultural anthropologist. A lot of people may not know that about Dr. Youssef, but a brilliant mind. And every single answer you're going to find. So I encourage you to go and check it out. This thing is already going viral. So again, it is absolutely free, no login required, myfaithassistant.com. 50,000 people have already downloaded this and have turned it into a trusted tool for biblical clarity on a lot of the big issues of the day. So here's how it's going to help you. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are, all right? You're going to get personalized guidance. Like, for example, how can I share God's design for sexuality with my child? How can I get clear answers to theological questions? Where did Jesus actually claim to be God? Or you're going to be able to find a trusted teaching by topic. What does the Bible say about politics? Oh, that's a good one. You're going to get access to trained pastors and prayer teams. Connect me to a counselor, and somebody's going to be there to pray for you and pray with you and help you. You're also going to be able to deepen your Bible study experience, and that's what I'm really excited about. Every morning I have a quiet time, a Bible study time, and we're going to have Dr. Youssef on the show later this week, to go in depth and talk about how this ministry tool is really impacting lives already, and it's just now being launched. And I love this because My Faith Assistant is literally redeeming AI, which is pretty awesome. So again, I want to give the address, myfaithassistant.com. This is a groundbreaking tool, and it's redeeming AI for God's kingdom, and I love that. So check it out, myfaithassistant.com. It is completely free, no login required. There's no gotcha here. This is just a great ministry resource to help you in your Bible study time, myfaithassistant.com. We'll be right back.
You're with Todd Starnes.
Hi, this is Todd Starnes. You know, you have lots of choices for cell phone service with new ones popping up all the time. But here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American and believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that's Patriot Mobile. The good news is you can switch to Patriot Mobile today without sacrificing quality or service. Worried about coverage? Don't be. Patriot Mobile uses all three major U.S. networks. If you have service in this country today, you'll have as good or better coverage with Patriot Mobile. Think switching is a hassle? Well, it's not. You can keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Patriot Mobile's 100% U.S.-based team will get you activated in minutes from the comfort of your own home. Stuck in a contract or owe money on your phones? No worries. Patriot Mobile has a contract buyout program. This is how we win, folks, by aligning our spending with our values. Every dollar we spend matters. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code Todd and get a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. Hi, this is Todd Starnes, and there's no better time to get in shape than right now. That's why I'm really excited that Calitrin is part of my weight loss campaign. Here's my friend Elizabeth from Calitrin.
That's right. It's totally understandable to be wary of weight loss products. I mean, everybody has been burned by them over the years. Everything comes and goes. There's lawsuits with some. But with Calitrin, it really is different because it's good for you, and it's got a track record of almost 30 years. 0 lawsuits, only hundreds of thousands of happy customers. So if you're wanting to lose weight with a product that's proven safe and effective, then you've got to check out Calitrin for yourself. You can go to the website, toploss.com. We've got a huge unlimited sale going on right now. Check it out at toploss.com or call us toll-free. We've got people right here in America, 833-TOP-LOSS.
Thanks, Elizabeth, and be sure to use that promo code TODD. We are living in dangerous and unstable times. Hello, everybody. I'm Todd Starnes. Pandemics, international insecurity, shortages, supply chain disruptions, and an economy on the brink. We know we can't simply trust the government to protect us. Now more than ever, everyone needs to be prepared. And being prepared is more than just stockpiling ammo, food, and supplies. Being prepared should also include stockpiling critical prescription medications. And that's where my friends at the Wellness Company come in. Their medical emergency kit contains the prescriptions, antibiotics, antivirals, and antiparasitics that you need to keep you and your family safe, from anthrax to tick bites to COVID and even to a bioweapon like the plague. The Wellness Company's medical emergency kit is exactly what you need to have on hand to be prepared. Go to twc.health/Starnes today and order. That's twc.health/Starnes. Use the promo code Starnes and you're going to save an extra 10%.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back. This is the Todd Starnes Radio Show, toddstarnes.com. Go and check out our website. You're going to find all sorts of great original content right there. We have a great team of writers providing content for you over at toddstarnes.com. All right, let's go to Iowa. Jerry is on the line. Jerry, what's going on?
Yeah, guys, I'm noticing the Olympics and the anti-Western sentiment. They're anti-Israel. They booed when Israel walked out. They booed when J.D. Vance was on the screen, and these few woke Olympians. They join in the hate. They like the illegal aliens voting in Iowa. They disparage the efforts of our honorable ICE agents. And I just want to say I support their right to to voice their disgust for American immigration enforcement, but I am embarrassed by their opinions being so anti-American. I find myself wishing someone else had their skills to represent us. I don't like. I'm ashamed of them. I hate to say that. I wish they would reverse immigrate to some of these other. Maybe they could go win medals for Syria or Russia or Nicaragua. I'd gladly trade them for Olympic contestants who actually honor America. And I would just like to apologize to Israel that any pathetic, ugly Americans that booed them during the ceremonies. So I'm not proud of what they're doing, and I wish they would just stick to sports and support legal immigration like their ancestors did.
Well, it's a fair point there, Jerry. And I will say this, maybe this is a good place to end this hour of the show with. U.S. men's ice hockey team, those guys are patriots. And I want you to listen to what this one young man said when he was asked the same question everybody else has been getting.
I mean, this is being able to represent the U.S. at this stage in the Olympics is one of the greatest honors that I've ever had. So I'm truly grateful to be here representing the red, white, and blue.
I think it kind of means the world. It's really like a whirlwind of emotions. Flying here this morning, hanging out in the village all day, and then getting fitted for our clothes, and just meeting athletes, and then coming here and practicing. And now it's all like, oh my gosh, like day one's over. Like it's kind of crazy. So. Really enjoying the experience so far and having a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's who we're going to be rooting for. Jerry, thank you for that. Got to run here, folks. Coming up, Florida's House Speaker Paul Renner, also Monty Fritz, running for governors. Florida, Tennessee, your calls coming up. We'll be right back.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies and fiber and spice supplements. Our ingredients are 16 whole fruits, 15 whole vegetables, 4 powerful fibers, and 12 aromatic spices. It's one irresistible combo.
Oh, I have a friend, Julia, who has taken a Balance of Nature now for quite some time, and she said, "Oh, Becky, ask your doctor about taking Balance of Nature." So I talked to my doctor about it, and she said, "Oh, try it."
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements today. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 35% off your first preferred set with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Don't wait. Now's the time to take action. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Hello, Americans. I'm Todd Stern. Stand by for news and commentary next.
From Affirm Films and director Sean McNamara comes Soul on Fire, based on a true story. When John O'Leary suffers burns over 100% of his body, it's a battle for survival. But through the care and support of community heroes, John's resilience leads him to discover what it means to truly live.
The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire.
Soul on Fire. Rated PG, parental guidance suggested. Now playing. More information is available at soulonfiremovie.com.
Soul on fire.
Members of the U.S. Olympic team came up with a clever name for their hospitality space. They called it the Ice House, a place for skaters, hockey players, and speed skaters to hang out after hours. But the name caused great concern among our woke athletes, fearing that sports fans might misconstrue the meaning of the word ice. So, for the sake of sensitivity, they're calling it the Winter House. And it's only a matter of time until the team announces they will not be hitting the ice, but instead an oval body of frozen water. And the figure skaters will be prancing around on a sheet of winter precipitation. And if you're invited to drop by the Winter House for a snack, whatever you do, don't ask the bartender for extra ice. The Olympic Games have not even commenced, and the Americans have already taken home a gold medal for virtue signaling. I have much more to say about this story at toddstearns.com.
The Todd Starnes Show begins in 4 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 2 minutes. The Todd Starnes Show begins in 1 minute.
From the Liberty University studio in Memphis, Tennessee, it's America's conservative blowtorch.
That's us. That's right. I love this American ride.
Todd Starnes.
Yes, that is me. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Todd Starnes, America's anchorman, and great to be with you this afternoon. Hour 3 of the big show now underway. Our website is toddstarnes.com, and all sorts of great information. By the way, if you want to go back and listen to any of the interviews we've done today, all you have to do is download our podcast free of charge, absolutely no charge. Also, download our newsletter. It comes out every morning. More than 250,000 Americans now download and listen to the Todd Starnes newsletter, read the newsletter, and well over, 500,000 people now monthly download the podcast. So thank you all for hanging out with us. By the way, tonight, 5 o'clock Eastern on the Newsmax 2, the Todd Starnes Show, we have a jam-packed program. Congressman Randy Fine from Florida is going to join us. Also, Congressman Jim Jordan will be with us. So a lot of breaking news there. Pam Bondi getting ready to testify tomorrow, and Jim Jordan's going to give us a rundown of that. Millions, by the way, tuning to Newsmax, watching us on cable, going to our streaming channel, Newsmax 2, and they're downloading our free Newsmax app on their smartphones and TVs. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is now one of the top news brands in the nation, and you can find out why. Make the switch today and join our news revolution. Get Newsmax on cable, on streaming, and download the free app today. It takes just seconds to start. And let President Trump know you stand with Newsmax, real news for real people. Well, there is a lot of political news to cover, and Florida is one of the big stories of this election cycle. And Florida, just like Tennessee, a red state, a super red state, and our next guest wants to keep it that way. He is currently the Speaker of the House in Florida, and he joins us on the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line. Paul Renner, Mr. Speaker, good to have you with us.
Todd, fantastic to be with you.
And you have decided to throw your hat in the ring to be the next governor of the state of Florida. Why do you want the job?
Well, we don't want to go backwards, and I actually exited as Speaker in 2024, and I helped build the free state of Florida with Governor DeSantis. We want a fighter like him, and there's simply nobody else with a record of leadership and results than me to take our state into the next 8 years.
What are some of the big issues that you see are facing the good people there in Florida?
Well, like many people in the country, affordability, cost of things have gone up far faster than incomes, whether that's property taxes, insurance, electric rates. I have a plan for all of those to lower prices and help make sure that people have more money in their pocket.
You know, one of the big things that we've been following, and I know this is a big issue for you when it comes to immigration and deporting the illegals and making sure that bad people are not wandering around preying on law-abiding American citizens.
Well, that's right. And we get asked this question, well, all this money we spend on Alligator Alcatraz, and is it really worth it? My response is the cost of free education, the cost of free health care, the cost of fentanyl and human trafficking, and both the traffickers and the trafficked, is so much greater. Illegal immigration is an enormous burden, a social cost on our country. And so getting that under control, as President Trump has done by, first of all, securing the border. That is the easiest and fastest way to fix the problem and not make it any worse. But we have a lot of people that need to be removed that are dangerous to our communities and just shouldn't be here. They're not here legally. And so we've been a model the governor has to support federal authorities in that effort.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because you're right. The border has been secured, and that was a very simple thing for the president to do. The bigger challenge, of course, is rounding up all the people that are here illegally, living off the hardworking American taxpayers. How do you feel about the work that ICE has been doing? And I know there's been a lot of talk, even among Republicans, about whether or not we should ease up a little bit. What say you?
Well, what I say is that leftist leaders, Tim Walz, the mayor of Minneapolis, have stoked an atmosphere that is conducive, and they know this, is conducive to creating violent moments like we've seen up there, and it's reprehensible. If I had them in Florida, if a mayor did that in Florida, I would remove them as governor in a heartbeat. And these guys need to be able to do their jobs. Here in Florida, we don't allow that kind of activity. You can protest, you can scream and shout your views. That's your First Amendment right, but we're not going to let you get in and harass law enforcement in the conduct of their legal duties.
On the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line, Paul Renner wants to be the next governor of Florida, and you've got some competition there. Congressman Byron Donalds, and you've been pretty outspoken and critical of him. The headline from the Florida Phoenix, for example, Paul Renner says Byron Donalds has enriched himself in office. What do you mean by that?
Well, we file disclosures here in Florida. When he was with me in the Florida House, went into Congress worth $200,000 or $300,000. His net worth has gone up 10 times in 5 years in office, and he has not done the people's business. He has a very thin record of accomplishment, no real leadership experience in his entire life. In contrast, I spent 20 years in the military, served in 2 wars, was a state attorney, and, of course, a very successful Speaker of the House. The governor called it the 2 most consequential years anytime, anywhere, in any legislature. And so you've got to have a leader and somebody who's actually, we can all say whatever we say in a campaign, but someone who's actually delivered, shown up and delivered results. I've beaten the left multiple times. It's what drives me. There was Amendment 3 and 4, the pot and abortion amendments, where a lot of these guys, made a tweet or something, but that doesn't get it done. I spent $2 million and traveled the state to stop an extreme abortion amendment. That's what leaders do. It wasn't in my requirement as Speaker. That's what the governor did. People want somebody like DeSantis, and the governor said as much about the congressman that he's never shown up for the big battles that made Florida what it is today.
You can't take stock in polls, but there is a poll out there, and people could read into it what they want to. Byron Donalds is leading with a significant lead right now. James Fishback, who I think is very concerning to a lot of conservatives out there, has some pretty good percentages as well. And then you. What is it going to take to make that leap and make this a truly competitive race for governor?
Well, it's a long game. It's a long, extended job interview for who should lead the 3rd largest state in America, and we see the excitement at the grassroots level. The leader in the polls right now is undecided, and that needs to be said, too. For all of the time that Congressman Donalds has missed votes in Congress, he's got a terrible voting record and has been on TV trying to self-promote. He's still behind undecided. Most people don't know who's in the race, and that includes myself. And so it's really about getting out, getting on shows like yours, talking about vision. We're the only ones with a vision to bring down costs, to end sex trafficking, to stop corruption in politics, and institutionalize our DOJ efforts here. We're laying out a systematic, solid, conservative agenda. I've got the character, the competence, and the courage to deliver on it, because I've proven that. You don't have to guess. I've shown up and delivered, and I'll do it again as governor.
And you also have just a solid background. I mean, you're a former prosecutor. You served in the Navy. You're a Navy veteran, and you're pretty well-versed on the big issues of the day, from, border control, crime, and immigration.
Well, that's right, and we did everything from universal school choice, pushing back on ESG, ending DEI programs, standing up for life with a Heartbeat Protection Act, Second Amendment, constitutional carry. The list goes on and on and on. And you mentioned protecting our children online from online pornography and addictive social media platforms. One of the leading bills, something I spent hours with constitutional lawyers to make sure, because we knew big tech lobbied up, and they did, and they said, well, we'll just beat you in court. Rather than make it more child-friendly, which they could have easily done under our bill, they've decided to sue in court to keep those kids addicted. And we know it's safer for your kid in a city park at night alone than it is on their digital device while mom and dad sleep. I led on this issue. I will protect our children. I'll protect our streets. As a former prosecutor, I take that very seriously. And again, we're going to end the victimization of children and trafficking, and this kind of stuff we've read about Jeffrey Epstein will stop in the state of Florida.
We have a lot of listeners in Florida, and they tell us one of the big problems is the property tax. It's so high. What would you do if you were governor? How would you handle that?
So a couple of different steps. And first of all, the problem. The problem is that property taxes have gone up about twice as fast as people's incomes. And fundamentally, as a conservative, we all believe that government should never grow faster than our incomes can afford. But that's what's happened. So there's this huge windfall. They have been talking in the legislature, and as I said, I termed out in 24. For all of 2025, taxes went up. 26, our taxes are going up again. And they've yet to come up with a single proposal that the governor can get on board with. And the governor's talked about eliminating homestead property taxes. I agree with him to say that once you've lived in your home for 30 years, there should be a point at which they can't take your home because you are on fixed income, you lose your job, you get sick, and you can't pay your property taxes. Ownership should mean ownership in America. And so I'm all for the bolder tax reform, but the first step can be a rollback, which was done 20 years ago. It's the one thing we can do legislatively. As a former speaker, this could be done in 2 days. And you simply roll back to whatever people paid, say, in 2024. And that benefits businesses, homestead, non-homestead, everybody gets a lowered tax bill. And let's do that and put that in place while we wait for the legislature to do its job this year. And I'm calling on them again today to stop talking and deliver results for people. We have people leaving our state because they can no longer afford to live here because of the cost of living.
Yeah, that's just not right. And I'm glad to see you guys are going to be all over that story. Real quick before we let you go, some national news coming out of Florida. We understand driver's license test now only given in English. How do you stand on that one?
Well, I'm all for it. I mean, imagine you can't read a stop sign. The word STOP means you're supposed to stop and not go through the intersection. I mean, this is just fundamental common sense. I'm a little embarrassed we didn't realize this beforehand and do it, but the governor's done it. I applaud him for doing it. It's the same kind of common sense conservative leadership you're going to get from me. We've got to protect our citizens, and that's one clear way to do it.
Well, the former Speaker of the Florida House of Representatives joining us here on the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line. I just want to circle back one more time to Mr. Donalds, Congressman Donalds. It is troubling when you see someone going into Congress and all of a sudden they become, a multimillionaire almost overnight. We see this on the Democrat side of the aisle, and we rightly condemn it. This is very disturbing that these numbers that are coming out when it comes to the congressman.
Well, Representative Luna has a discharge petition to get after insider trading. He's one of the Florida congressmen who has not signed on to it. I've called him out for it. I support her effort. I support Ashley Moody, our senator's effort. She has an even more comprehensive bill that gets after blind trust. So it's truly, you can have mutual funds, and you can invest, but you can't buy and sell stocks. And he's been on a committee that oversees those companies that he's trading stocks in. And so it's just exactly what people are disgusted about politicians left and right. We need people who are committed to service. I've spent time with leadership under pressure and positions of trust my entire life, and it's what drives me. And beating the left and preserving this beautiful state of Florida is what I'll commit to and promise people I will deliver on when I'm governor.
I love this, and the website voterenner.com. That's voterenner.com, and you'll be able to find out all of the issues. This is what I love, and it's a Florida first. I love Florida first, Paul. Nothing wrong with that.
And nothing at all. We're focusing on the problems of Floridians. I'm not running for vice president or anything else other than to be a great governor and solve problems to make people's lives better.
All right, Paul, we'd love to get you back on, and we'll talk more about the issues and the campaign. We wish you the very best, and thanks for joining us today.
Todd, thanks. God bless you.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Renner, and he's running for governor. He's a good guy. He's one of the good guys. And it is disturbing to see the ways that Congressman Donalds his bank accounts have grown since he's been in Congress. I do believe that this is an issue that impacts both political parties, and that's one of the reasons why we've got so many problems with Republicans backtracking and refusing to advance the president's agenda. So I'd encourage you to go check this guy out. You Florida, I know we have a lot of Florida listeners. What did you think about this guy? Paul Renner, your former Speaker of the House there in Florida. Give us a call, 901-260-5926. That's 901-260-5926. This is The Todd Starnes Show.
He's not bitter. He's blessed. Todd Starnes.
There's a quiet revolution happening in America, and it's not coming from tanks or tyrants. It's creeping into classrooms, corporate boardrooms, and even some church pulpits. Live Not by Lies is a powerful new docuseries by Angel Studios based on Rod Dreier's best-selling book. It exposes the rise of soft totalitarianism in the West by drawing striking parallels with the communist regimes of the past. Now, the series features brave men and women who live under real oppression. They see the warning signs, and they're sounding the alarm. Now, this isn't a doom and gloom paranoia. It is firsthand wisdom from people who know what it's like to live without freedom. And it's a wake-up call for every American who cares about faith, family, and liberty. If you believe in preserving truth in an age of lies, well, now's the time to pay attention. Live Not by Lies is streaming now only on Angel Guild. Join today by visiting angel.com/Starnes. That's angel.com/Starnes. Hey, Todd Starnes here. Every day, Americans make choices that shape our country's future, right down to which cell phone provider we support. Now, here's what a lot of people don't realize. Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless provider. They're an activist organization funded by selling top-tier cell phone service, and they've been on the front lines defending our freedom long before it was cool, standing in the gap when others would not. And the best part is they deliver prioritized premium service on all three major U.S. networks. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you help grow a movement that fuels the Christian conservative cause. Every bill you pay helps advance the values of faith, family, and freedom. And switching is easier than ever. Activated minutes. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Take a stand today. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code Todd for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Todd. Call 972-PATRIOT. Make the switch today.
We're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Councel.
Smokey the Bear.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
What you desire, don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at smokeybear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Wow, you folks in Gainesville, Georgia, making national news yesterday. This was happening during the Todd Stearns radio show. An airplane crashed on one of the main roads in Gainesville. This was insane. We understand that the plane was managed to land, but it hit 3 cars on the roadway. And the 2 people on board actually survived the plane crash. They're in the hospital. They may have been released by now. They were not seriously injured, but this is really quite something. The plane took off from the Gainesville airport, was heading over to Cherokee County, Georgia. The NTSB said it was a Beechcraft bonanza. Any of you folks see all of this? I know one of our WDUN listeners had to have seen this. The airplane apparently didn't have enough power to make it to the airport. There was something wrong with the engine, and so they tried to turn back. The pilot had to make a forced landing on the road, and they were scoping out options, and that was it. And this incredibly busy roadway, they say hundreds of thousands of cars use this thing every day. This is according to WSB-TV. Anyway, the pilot, and they have all of this on the transcripts, the air traffic control recordings, and you can hear the pilot sending out a warning saying, "Mayday, we're not going to make it. Please tell my wife, Molly, I love her, and my parents, I love them so much." And then they made the landing. Well, the good news is he's going to be able to tell his wife that in person. I have to imagine that's going to be a mighty special Valentine's Day for the 2 people on board. Anyway, what a good story, and well done to the pilot. I mean, they just sort of, it was like threading a needle getting that plane, all captured on video, by the way. Just remarkable. By the way, another story out of Gainesville. You guys could be getting an ICE detention facility, and apparently there are a lot of people that are upset about this. The city of Oakwood, Georgia, says they've learned that the federal government wants to buy some property in Hall County and turn it into an ICE facility. The city manager says he was blindsided because they haven't spoken to anybody at Homeland Security or at ICE. If the plan goes through, the building will house, which is right now used, I don't know what they use to house it, but it could house 1,500 illegals. The city manager says we've been sidelined and steamrolled over. You know, you folks in DeSoto County or Marshall County, right in the Memphis area, you guys are dealing with the same issue where the feds are coming in and they want to be able to build an ICE detention facility in North Mississippi. You guys got a problem with that? I mean, they got to go somewhere, right? They got to house the illegals somewhere. We'll take your calls on that, 901-260-5926. That's 901-260-5926. Coming up, we're going to be talking to Monty Fritz. He's a Republican state lawmaker in Tennessee, and he wants to be the next governor of the volunteer state. He is crisscrossing the state, and he is a rock-solid Republican, so we'll have a fun conversation with Mr. Fritz coming up in just a few moments. Again, our telephone number, 901-260-5926. This is The Todd Stearns Show.
Great if life came with a remote control. You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, it's important to support companies and organizations that share our values. Patriot Mobile not only shares our beliefs, but they actually do something about it. America's only conservative Christian wireless carrier. And they donate a portion of every dollar to organizations that fight for causes you care about. Switch to Patriot Mobile now and use the promo code TODD to get free activation and a free gift. Veterans and first responders save even more. Go to patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. Many college grads are anti-capitalist activists. So if you're a business owner, how do you find new employees who won't destroy your business? Hi, this is Todd Starnes, and that's where Red Balloon comes in. They're America's #1 pro-freedom job board, and they're shaking up the hiring world by focusing on values and mission-aligned talent. Now, there are two ways Red Balloon can help. You can post your job on their national job board. Over 20,000 people visit every week. Or you can hire Red Balloon Recruiter for a more customized talent search. Now, the recruiter team is really fantastic. They start by learning your workplace culture and writing a custom job posting, and then they source and screen candidates from their national database. Their team conducts first interviews, and you get alerts when they find highly qualified candidates. And Red Balloon delivers these high-quality results at a fraction of traditional corporate recruiter prices. People are saying Red Balloon is a game changer. So check them out today, redballoon.work. Use the promo code STARNS and save $100 on Recruiter.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
All right, we're getting some numbers in finally from the Super Bowl. It turns out that 48.6 million U.S. households tuned in to watch the Super Bowl 60. That was a 13% decrease from last year's game. Dylan, are you ready for this? Drum roll, please. Okay, we got to up.
I don't have a drum roll.
We got to up our sound effects game
I'll
here.
Find one.
So here we go. Halftime. Only 26.5 million households watched Bad Bunny's halftime show. That's down 39% from Kendrick Lamar's 2025 show. And what's really fascinating here is that most of those people went over and watched the Turning Point USA halftime show.
Wow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
They lost almost half their audience. That's wow. All right. Muy loco, if you ask me. Muy loco. All right, let's go to the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line. Say hello to our good friend. He is State Representative Monty Fritz from Tennessee, running to be the next governor. Monty, good to have you with us. Did you watch the Bad Bunny halftime show, Monty?
No, sir. I don't want to watch that trash. And I love football, but to be honest with you, Todd, I'm so busy now, I have to be reading or answering email in most of my spare time. So I did not. I didn't watch any of the games.
Well, no, it's understandable, and I understand because you're a man on a mission. This is the headline from the Tennessee Lookout from back in September of last year. East Tennessee Republican runs for governor to topple the Nashville establishment. Did they get it right? Is that what you're doing?
It is. Yes, sir. I think that there's a Nashville establishment, a bureaucratic establishment here that thinks that, of politicians and bureaucrats, that think that they get to pick who the next governor is, and that folks like me should not apply, and that we should just stay home and let those professional politicians deal with it.
Now, it's important for the national audience to know that Nashville, and in other words, Tennessee, Nashville's the state capital, Tennessee is controlled by a supermajority of Republicans. They control everything. Senator Marsha Blackburn is running for governor. Congressman John Rose is running for governor, and you are as well. Now, there was an unofficial, unscientific Facebook poll. There were two of them that came out, and people were just asked to vote. Who are you going to vote for? I mean, that was pretty much it. And I thought it was interesting. KWAM had one on their Facebook page. Marsha Blackburn got 36% of the vote. John Rose got 4%. And you, sir, got 60% of the vote in that poll. 2,100 people have so far voted in that poll. What do you make of that number?
Well, thank God. And thank God for those. Winning this thing's going to be a miracle. And I think that people are tired of career politicians. I'm so flattered and humbled, and makes me smile. Warms my heart that people would pick my name on there. I said this morning, I was talking to somebody, based on the message and the content of message and our Liberty and Less Government campaign compared to what the other two are putting out, it should have been 90 Fritz, 5 for each of the others. So I've got some work to do. I've got some catching up to do. I have to work a little bit harder.
Now, there's a fellow who listens to KWAM, and he's very active in the VFW there, Justin Johnson. He is a conservative activist, I would say, here in the area. And he posted a poll as well. Nearly 3,000 people, it's 2,999 people have voted in his poll. And right now, you're leading 55%, Marsha Blackburn 37%, John Rose 8%. What is the message that you think, and again, this is a Facebook poll, so you can take it for whatever it's worth, but what do you think is the message here that's resonating with voters?
I think keeping more money in your pocket, stop sending so many dollars to Nashville in taxes and collections. Our budget has grown like crazy in the last 6 years. I just left a committee where a bill to remove a double taxation on non-plug-in hybrid vehicles went down because the governor's staff and the Department of Transportation said, we need to keep your money. And, of course, you know this, Todd, they put like an almost $10 million fiscal note on it. And they look at it, the bureaucracy looks at it as we need that $10 million. What they're not seeing is that's $10 million of Tennesseans' money that they're being double taxed. Not only are they paying for the 26 cents a gallon on fuel, but they're also paying $100 for a registration fee just because they made a good decision and drive a hybrid car, a non-plug-in hybrid. We certainly ought to, the folks that drive electric vehicles ought to contribute to the infrastructure just like those of us who purchase and drive gasoline and diesel. But I think that's indicative of there's an out-of-touchness in Nashville. There's a box seat mentality that you have to be. I've had it said to me that, well, Monty doesn't have enough experience. What? I spent a long time in nuclear manufacturing. I understand complex operations pretty well. have a few degrees to help with that. But it's almost as if some of the Nashville establishment, not those two good people that happen to be running, both good people, but the Nashville establishment thinks, well, we need a seasoned career politician. I think most of America's sick of seasoned career politicians. I think seasoned career politicians either are opposing what President Trump's trying to do when he does something good, or they're using his name a lot and really don't support him. And I think people are sick of that. I think that makes me an attractive candidate because while I will say some things that just shock people, and some won't vote for me because I'm honest, I think there's a lot of people that just want to hear someone speak and say exactly what they think is the solution. And I try to do that, Todd.
You got elected in 2022 to the House of Representatives. You represent District 32 in Tennessee. Is there any legislation that you've introduced that you're proud of? What would you say is your proudest moment there in the State House?
Well, I think we've led the nation in several areas with legislation that we've been able to carry and pass. And through God's grace, our prayer resolution was a big thing for us. First time in the history that a state's done, the legislative body has done that, to call the state to prayer and fasting, seeking God's blessing for those who are physically able and spiritually inclined. Our geoengineering, we led the nation on that. Illegals, we led the nation on putting harsh penalties on illegals so they would not come to Tennessee. If you commit a violent crime in Tennessee, you can face life in prison with no parole. That was my legislation. We led the nation in trying to send a brigade-sized force of Tennesseans to help Texas repel the invasion. We see what the illegals are doing to us today. You see the reports and what's happening in America. We have to stand hard on this thing. We protected marriage in Tennessee. After Obergefell, federal government didn't do anything. So in Tennessee, a man cannot be required to solemnize a marriage. You can't be performed to perform a marriage. We set up an energy policy my first year in, and the second year we restructured the State Energy Policy Council because I want to get to a more open kilowatt economy so that we're not behind and we are behind the curve right now in generating kilowatts. I understand TVA is about to make some good decisions that are coming, but we've been making some really bad decisions, and Tennessee needs to be engaged and not relegate all our decisions about that most vital commodity, which right now is the kilowatt, I think, and the infrastructure to support it. We've been relegating that decision to bureaucrats in D.C., and it's not worked out well for us. Thankfully, we're headed a different direction now.
Monty, I know that Senator Blackburn has said that Tennessee, and she wants to ensure that Tennessee is America's conservative leader. What would you say? Again, I mean, name recognition. I think everybody in the state knows Marsha Blackburn. I don't think anybody knows John Rose, to be perfectly honest about it. He's a very nice person. All of you guys are very nice individuals. And for the sake of full disclosure, I have already endorsed Marsha Blackburn, but I want to give all of the candidates a voice and a fair platform. What is it? Why is it that people are going to be better off with you in the governor's mansion as opposed to John Rose or Marsha Blackburn?
Well, it is a liberty and less government thing. I have a voting record that indicates, if you look at the freedomindex.org assessment of my constitutionality of voting, I was 100% last year. Both of them were in the 60s. I have a lifetime average of 94. They have lifetime averages in the 60s or 70s. I have advocated for smaller budgets in Tennessee, and they both have been part of sending, I think Congressman Rose voted to send $5 billion to refugee welfare. I just can't get that. Everywhere I talk to people, it's like we don't want any more foreign refugees in America. We're at a super saturation point. We're at a point where we need to be not only deporting the illegals, but stopping the H-1B visas and maybe even pausing legal immigration for a while until we get our culture back. I'm a gun rights person. I've stood up for that. We've introduced legislation that makes Tennessee, according to Gun Owners for America, the best state in the nation to manufacture and sell firearms and ammunition. And while the others might say they're Second Amendment supporters, I haven't seen any legislation to support it. It's kind of this, Todd, and I offer this with some pun. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. When it comes to the legislation, we have walked it like we've talked it in House District 32. Led the state in many regards, led the United States in many regards in legislation we've offered. And I just hadn't seen that. I've seen lots of lip service from career politicians, but I haven't seen them put their money where their mouth is and stand up for the rights of the Tennessee.
All right. Monty Fritz, ladies and gentlemen, running to be the next governor of Tennessee, one of the most conservative states in the nation and one of the most important conservative states in the nation. Monty, where can people go if they want to get more information about your campaign?
Fritz, Fritts, the number 4tn.com, or you can follow me on Twitter or X, Facebook, Instagram. We're on all the social media platforms. I think I know we have something going on TikTok. I can't spell TikTok, Todd, but we do have something going on TikTok. And I would just offer this, based on your comment. We can't let Tennessee fall. We can't allow the establishment politic to keep driving us toward bigger budgets and more infringement on people's rights. Let's, just as I have led in legislation, the entire nation, let's put a combat veteran in the governor's seat. It's been a while since we've had it. Let somebody who has led troops in battle, let him lead the state, and let's lead toward liberty, and let's go.
All right, Monty Fritz, always good hearing from you, Monty, and we'll get you back on between now and the primary, no doubt about that. Monty Fritz, ladies and gentlemen, on our Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line. All right, our telephone number, 901-260-5926. That's 901-260-5926. Now, you say, Todd, why are we talking about Florida? Why are we talking about Tennessee? Because those are very important states, and we've got to make sure that Republicans are making the right decisions when it comes to their vote on Election Day. And I say that because of a situation that's happening really right outside of Charlotte, where you have a woman, her name is Kate Barr. She's a lifelong Democrat, and she is running as a Republican. She's intentionally trying to subvert the vote in North Carolina. I want you to take a listen to this. Cut 11.
I'm not a real Republican. Like, I am telling people the truth. I knock on a door and I say I'm running in the Republican primary, but I'm not a Republican. I'm a progressive. I'm running as a Republican in the Republican primary for Congressional District 14 because that is where the actual competition happens in our gerrymandered district. It happens in the primaries. Like, if you're in a district that is a lock for Democrats, that Democratic primary is where the competition is. And quite frankly, while the can't win strategy is about building for the long term and like building our bench and being ready for fair maps in 2030, we got to win right now because we are in an emergency, like a democratic emergency. And so the place I can win is as a fake Republican.
And she's going to do it. She is going to challenge Congressman Tim Moore for his seat in the suburbs of Charlotte. This is a solid Republican district, according to Cook Political Report. But she is waging a very serious bid, and she wants candidates in other gerrymandered states to adopt her strategy. And here's the challenge. She could have a fighting chance because Republicans, as they have demonstrated over the past year, are not getting out and they're not voting. And when that happens, very bad things happen. You folks in Texas in the 9th Senate District, you know all about that now. You've got a Democrat there. All you folks in Virginia, you know all about that. Your Republicans have been pretty much wiped out. Same thing in New Jersey. So we've had races in Georgia where the Democrats won. So all that to say, you got to pay attention. You've got to make sure you understand who the candidates are. And just because there is an R behind their name does not necessarily mean they are, in fact, a Republican. They'll be a fake Republican. Got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Can't hear the whole show? Don't worry. Get the Toddcast and listen on your own time at ToddStarnes.com.
From director Sean McNamara comes Soul on Fire, based on a true story.
They said you had no chance, but here you are.
Starring Joel Courtney, John Corbett, Stephanie Shostak, Macy McLean, with Devon Franklin and William H. Macy.
If you focus exactly on loving the life that you're living right now, and not the life that you think you could have had or should have had, that's the whole deal right there.
Soul on Fire, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Now playing. For tickets, go to soulonfiremovie.com. Soul on Fire.
Most people don't look forward to their annual physical because they're nervous what the doctor might find. I know that's how I feel. That's why what you do before the appointment matters. So before your next checkup, make the one health change your doctor should notice or your money back. Make it Field of Greens. Doctors today look beyond your calendar age. They look at biological age, how healthy your cells and vital organs are. Field of Greens was designed with that in mind. In fact, a university study found participants who only added Field of Greens saw measurable improvements in key health markers. Just one change changed everything. That's why Field of Greens promises your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back. Go into your next physical confident. One scoop once a day, done. Make Field of Greens your one smart change this year. Check out the university study and get 20% off at fieldofgreens.com, promo code STARNS. That's fieldofgreens.com, promo code STARNS. For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms while providing exceptional nationwide cell phone service with access to all three of the main networks. Patriot Mobile's all-U.S.-based support team is standing by to take care of you. Call 972-PATRIOT today or go to patriotmobile.com/Todd. Use promo code Todd for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Todd or call 972-PATRIOT, code Todd.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm a 70-year-old man. I'm not a young guy, and I'm an ex-athlete. Well, yeah, when I was taking it, I recognized that I was feeling better. You know what I'm saying? And just mentally knowing is important also.
I am a customer of you guys. I love your product. Love it, love it. Nothing but good things to say about your product. I love it. And as long as y'all are going to sell it, I'm going to take it as long as I can.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code TODD.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I like a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
All right, don't forget tonight, 5 o'clock Eastern, we're going to have a jam-packed show on Newsmax. Jim Jordan's going to drop by, also Congressman Randy Fine, and our ladies panel. We're trying to come up with a clever name for that panel. Mary Walter is going to join us along with Kay Smythe. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to be talking about, this is crazy, Dylan, but apparently now there are zoos that will allow you to name animal dung after your ex.
For Valentine's Day. I love that they're doing this.
It's like right around the corner. This is going to be a lot of fun. So also you can name roaches, rats, and cat poop. This is at the Bronx Zoo in New York City.
My only question is, can I choose which animal the poop is named after? Like, can I choose the elephant?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or the hippopotamus.
Mm-hmm. And it's also meant for ghosters.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Which is sort of like a new thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, you reach out to someone and they don't ever text you back or call you back. It's been around.
Yeah. So this is the Bronx Zoo. You can name a Madagascar hissing cockroach after a lover or a loather, or if you've suffered emotional trauma. But it's not free. It's going to set you back $15.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, but you can buy a Chick-fil-A sandwich worth $15.
Well, you can also buy a Madagascar cockroach.
Or that, too. The classic package, I love there's a classic package, comes with a digital certificate proving your chosen name will live on in roach immortality. Because, the roaches are the only things that are going to outlast us, especially if there's like, nuclear war, God forbid.
Yeah.
The cockroaches will be with us.
They'll be with us, and they'll be like 10 times bigger than everything. They'll grow.
A coffee shop near a high school in Los Angeles is in hot water. Turns out they thought it was a coffee shop, but Dylan, it turned out that the DD Cafe was actually a strip club.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That would be surprising on 6 a.m. in the morning.
Fox
getting your coffee.
Fox 11 did an undercover investigation, and they found that the women wore very little clothing, gave lap dances, and allowed customers to bring in booze for an additional charge. Yeah, that does not sound like Starbucks.
Is this counterproductive? How are you during the daytime? I mean, that's typically not when you want to go to a strip club, right?
It depends on what kind of a day you've been having.
I guess so. Maybe they have the blackout curtains.
If you work,
simulate night.
If you work the overnight shift, that's
very specific customers.
And you don't want to watch The Price is Right. 17 people arrested.
Oh my God!
It was a busy coffee shop.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess the police knew something was up when people their lattes were being frothed, and I don't think it was the coffee. All right, we've got to leave it there, everybody. That's weird. We'll be back tomorrow, 12 noon o'clock. We will see you on the radio. Tonight, 5 o'clock, we will see you on Newsmax 2. Get out there. Have a great one, everybody. This is the Todd Starnes Show.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
Thought, well, just for the heck of it, I'll try this Balance of Nature. But I thought, all right, I'll do it for 1 month,